Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Friends of Bangladeshi. Each time we bring a very special friend, and today is no exception. But before I introduce my guest, let's go and see a video clip.
Becky Horsburg was born in London and is a freelance TV and print journalist. Graduated from Bristol University, she began working in journalism soon after graduation and has worked at many major news outlets including BBC, ITN and Associated Press. Becky had a childhood passion for swimming, though she herself admits not being a particularly strong swimmer. Nonetheless, her young passion led her to train and qualify as a swimming teacher. Whilst working as an Asia correspondent, she was able to merge these interests with her professional life and help develop drowning prevention projects in Bangladesh. She became involved with the Center for Injury Prevention and Research, a charity organization based in Bangladesh, particularly their program to teach young children how to swim. Eager to promote the work of the charity, January 2018 saw Becky embark on the ultimate challenge. She became the first British citizen to successfully swim across the 16-kilometer Bangla Channel in the Bay of Bengal, from Teknaf to St. Martin's Island in just 4 hours 45 minutes. Not only was it a momentous achievement in itself, but it captured the hearts and minds of many Bangladeshis and the media across the globe, opening their eyes to the problem of drowning in Bangladesh.
My guest today is none other than Becky Horsburg. Welcome to Channel S.
Thank you for having me.
You.
Thank you.
Where were you born?
I was born in London.
London? So
Yes.
you are a Londoner.
Yes, London born and bred.
And what do you do now?
I work as a freelance journalist, so mostly in television, but also I write for print, and it can be on any subject, but my sort of preference is either swimming or foreign news.
Is it print media or electronic media? Television?
Anyone that is happy for me to work for them. So I like the
Right.
variety. I like being able to work on television programs where you're producing material for news
So
programs.
You are a producer?
When I work in television, yes.
Okay.
And then I also like the chance to write for newspapers and magazines, which is what I can do at home and do in my own time and do my own research. So they're both quite different sort of sides of journalism, but I like sort of both of them just as much.
But mainly at Channel 4?
Mainly, yes.
Mainly at Channel 4. So apart from Channel 4, do you work for any other mainstream media?
I mean, during my career, I've worked for all sorts of organisations in the UK. In the past, I've worked for the BBC, I've worked for Associated Press, Sky News here in the UK. I've also at times specialised in sport, because I'm a big fan of sport, especially cricket.
Cricket?
And swimming, of course, and athletics. So, during my career, I've spent time doing that, which has taken me to places like the Olympics and events like that. So that's, been exciting. So, more or less, across most places in the UK.
And you are a producer at Associated Press,
That's
AP?
correct. Yes, so I was
Which is a branch in Bangladesh.
Correct, yes.
Yes.
I was Asia producer there for 4 years, which meant I specialised on the news that was coming in from the Asia region.
Which do you favour as the most interesting part you are associated with?
I do love my swimming in that it gives me a break from the sort of crazy pace of life that we all seem to live nowadays. I love writing, I love being at home and getting into your head, writing a good article, and you can escape in that way. But for swimming, most of all, when you're just going to basics, you're just in the water, you got no music, no sounds.
No sound. Relaxing.
You can just relax, and there's no phone, there's nothing to disturb you. So I think that's my
How many
piece.
times a week do you swim?
I try to swim at the moment on average about 3 times a week.
3 times.
Yeah.
Now, $1,000,000 question. You swam the Bangla Channel, Teknaf to St. Martin's.
That's correct, yes.
Didn't you? How many miles?
So that's 16 kilometres, which is about 10 miles.
No stoppages. You carried on swimming, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, when you do a long distance swim, you have to obviously take on water and food. But one of the rules is you're not allowed to touch the boat that you are following, and you're not allowed to touch people. So about every 45 minutes, I would signal to my boat, and then they would, for example, throw a bottle to me with water, but they would have it on the end of a piece of rope. So then I would just have to catch the bottle And then I'd still be in the water. I'd be treading water with my feet, get the bottle, just have to drink some water, and then put the top back on, and then they would just pull it back with the rope, and then...
So you had escort people watching you to make sure that you are safe?
Yes, you need a boat in a sense, because otherwise, when you're in open sea, you have no idea what direction you're going. So I had a brilliant crew who helped me the whole way, and on the boat you also have a doctor and people like that. So just in case there's any problems, they're there. And then literally what I would do when I would swim, I would just keep following that boat.
When was that swim?
That was the 28th of January.
Of January 2018?
Yes, this year, so 6-7 months ago. Yeah.
6-7 months. Yeah. So what sort of help did you get from the Bangladesh side?
I had all sorts of help in all sorts of areas, which was brilliant. First of all, my crew. So when I first thought about doing something to kind of raise awareness of the problem of drowning in Bangladesh, I was thinking, how can I get this into the media in an interesting way? And then one day, it was literally on Facebook, I saw Bangla Channel swimming.
Okay.
So I started looking at it, and I read about it, saw it was 16 kilometres. I'd never swum that far at that point, but I felt with the right training I could do it. So then I contacted the organisers, who immediately responded to me, gave me all the information I needed, and then once I decided to do it, they kept me constantly updated on the organisation side of that. And then on the other side, I had my friends in Bangladesh, especially my colleagues at AP, who very much helped me get the word around that I was doing the swim, but also to spread the message that I was trying to spread about the importance of swimming. So I had sort of help on all sorts of sides.
Sure.
And then when I arrived I was there for 2 weeks when I did the swim.
You decided to swim. You weren't a regular swimmer, but you decided to swim the Bangla Channel.
Yeah, I was a regular swimmer.
How did you
at that
prepare
point.
yourself,
I
train
mean,
yourself?
I mean, I was already at that point swimming a lot, doing nothing like a professional swimmer, but I did a lot of swimming for fun. I was a qualified swim teacher, so I was spending a lot of time in the swimming pool. Once I decided that I needed to do something like that, I asked for advice from the coaches at my swim club and said to them, okay, this is what I'm going to do, end of January, can you help me devise a training plan?
Sure.
So we basically, one of the coaches, we built up a training plan, and I would swim 4 times a week, and each session was broken up.
So that was your preparation?
Yeah.
And then you went to Bangladesh?
And then I went out to Bangladesh about a week before the swim.
Did you have sponsors there?
Not any sponsors out there as such. I swim here. I'm what they call an ambassador for a swim brand here called Selkie. So they helped me with some of the kit and things. But very much it was just me, myself, doing everything myself.
So tell us about the route, the Teknaf to St. Martin's. You know, I don't know much about it.
Well, we set off from Teknaf Jetty, so the start was very much still along the river. So when we set off in the water, you could still see very much Myanmar on the other side of the border, very close. And you've just got a big stretch of open water. So once I got in and was swimming for probably about the first hour, I could still see land on both sides. And then once we headed out into the Bay of Bengal to the open sea, literally all you do see is a very big sky and a very big sea and the boat that I was following. So that's why it's very difficult to know what direction you're going, anything like that. And the water was pretty clear, so I saw quite a few fish when I was
So you were on your own, yeah?
at that point, yes.
In a group swimming?
No, there was 3 of us began the swim,
Okay.
but the other 2 swimmers didn't finish it. But very much as soon as we started, we were all very much separated because we were all very much different speeds. So from almost start, all I could see was my boat, and where I could see other people. And there were jellyfish, there were fish. But, you know, you're just so focused in your mind.
So after you completed the swim, immediately you became a hero within Bangladesh and the world, and especially with women, Bangladeshi women. You had a very big media coverage in Bangladesh. So tell us about it. What was your reaction about it?
I was completely surprised at what happened after the swim. I mean, I'd spent so many months focusing on the swim. I finished it, I went back to my hotel room and I was like, oh, I've done this. And I started telling people, like text message and things, oh, it's done. It took me 4 hours, 45 minutes. And then just suddenly it sort of exploded because some of my journalist friends told other journalists.
Everyone were excited.
Yeah, and then suddenly it was across all the newspapers. And the thing is, at that point, I was in St. Martin's, which is a beautiful, tiny little island. So I wasn't really aware what was happening.
Going on back in Dhaka.
Back in Dhaka. So it wasn't until the next day we got the ferry to go back to Teknaf. And people on the boat started coming up to me and asking for selfies. And I could see everyone was looking at me. And then I realised that they all knew what I'd done. And then
they got to know Becky Horsburg.
Yes. And I guess I sort of stood out quite a bit with my blonde hair and everything. So it was selfies and selfies here, there, everywhere. Got to my hotel in Cox's Bazar and all the staff were there at the reception and they gave me flowers. And then, of course, once I got back to Dhaka the day after that, it was interview after interview, television, newspapers, photos. And then, but also what was lovely was just normal people coming up to me and just saying, thank you for doing this for our children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll continue our conversation in a minute. We have to go for a break. We'll be back soon. Stay with us. Welcome back. We were having a conversation about the Bangla Channel Swim by Becky Horsburg. Becky, so are you intending to return back to Bangladesh?
Well, yes, I've already been back since the swim because, I mean, the main aim of the swim wasn't just a personal challenge. Obviously, it was a big thing for me to do a big swim like that, but the most important thing for me was to get this message across about how important it is to learn to swim. Bangladesh has some of the worst drowning figures in the world, with 40 to 50 children dying every day in the water. And I've learnt in the past year a lot about the swimming schemes there. And that was what I wanted to do with my swim, was raise this awareness. So since then I've been back. So I was back in July this year. I spent some more time with the CIPRB, and they are the people who run the swim schemes in
Center
Bangladesh.
for Injury Prevention
Bangladesh.
Research in Bangladesh.
That's correct, yes.
So you were involved with that?
Yes, so they very much took me around several places around Bangladesh to show me their work, so I can understand more what they are doing, understand more what the problem is, and understand more how you solve this problem. So that was 2 weeks in July. I'm already planning my next trip. And then hopefully next summer I can spend longer out there really helping properly with swim training.
And how do you intend doing it? You know, the training the children or the parents?
Well, it's very much the CIPRB have a brilliant scheme running, and they've very much been advised by the RNLI, the British Institute, so that's the Royal National Lifeboat Institute.
Right.
And together they've devised a swim programme that for most children, within 2 weeks they can learn enough skills that they can basically save themselves if they fall in the water. So what I would like to be able to do is go out and help with teaching those. They have a specific programme, but also I want to try and help get that into new areas. Because obviously it's a very slow process. You're not going to change everything overnight, and you're not going to be able to establish this everywhere.
And awareness is needed as well.
And awareness, yeah. And that's why when I go back, I kind of use, in a sense, the fame I got from my channel Swim to talk to people about swimming and get people just, as soon as you get people talking about it in the awareness, getting parents to realise that it's important. It's not like playing football or something which is fun, but it doesn't save your life. But if a child can swim, they can have fun, but it's such an essential life skill to have.
You made a lot of friends in Bangladesh.
Many, yes.
Where do you stay when you go to Bangladesh?
Normally I stay with friends now.
Okay.
Which is great, because then I get to really experience
The family life.
Yeah, a proper Bangladeshi life, which is fun, nice. I don't like hotels. I don't like that side of things.
What do you think of the hospitality?
I'm always bowled over how kind everyone is when I'm there. Everyone's so nice to me. I'm just so grateful by all the support and friendship I get shown when I am in Bangladesh.
Culture?
It's fascinating.
You were wearing a sari. the other day.
Yes, well, yeah. I love wearing a sari. It's not the most practical thing when you're running around London, but it's a beautiful thing to wear. You immediately just feel elegant wearing one. But yeah, it's for me, I love learning about new cultures. I love trying new food. I'm not scared of spices. I just love to learn, and I just find the Bangladeshi culture, it's such a young nation as well, which is
That's
so
right.
interesting.
It's just over 40 years.
Yeah, it's younger than me.
Yeah, we need a lot of help
Yeah.
in every area.
And that's why and that's another thing I do when I'm back in the UK, is I very much like to spread the positive words about the country. And, and a lot of my friends are fascinated because they know very little about the country.
Very little.
And they're very interested to
Because
learn
it's
more.
amazing that still people think we are part of India.
Yeah.
46 years have gone by. Only now they're realizing that Bangladesh is an independent country.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know the history. They don't know
That's
that but basically Bangladesh was part of Pakistan.
Pakistan, yeah.
Most people don't even know that kind of thing. So, it's a very fascinating history.
You were doing some work, or you were going to do some work in East London, training the women, encouraging the women, our women, to swim, and the children?
I've been trying to, so when I came back from my Bangla Channel swim, I kind of felt, okay, I'm doing a lot of awareness in Bangladesh, but London is my home country, home sort of city, England's my home country. Obviously knew of the big Bangladeshi community here, so I started investigating what are the sort of swimming opportunities here. And then I actually found out that there was quite a lot of classes available, but there wasn't much publicity about these classes. So there again, I did a TV report that went out.
Are you getting some responses?
I know from British Bangladeshi women that I know here that their friends, I know that there's one woman in particular told me that a couple of her friends had, inspired by me, had started going swimming, which is really good. And it's good because then the mothers are more likely to take the children.
That's right, yes.
So, most of all, it kind of helps them.
And they can still cover themselves?
Oh, totally, yes. I mean, within Tower Hamlets, I think virtually every day there are sessions what they call women-only sessions. So all the lifeguards are women, the teachers are women. You can be fully covered, that's fine. And you'll often get at these sessions a whole mixture of women there. You can get just English women. I know some friends who prefer to go swimming when it's just women-only sessions because it's normally a bit more peaceful.
Yes.
But you might get, all different communities, and the classes as well are normally offered at a discount. So the opportunities are definitely there.
Definitely there.
Yeah, especially within Tower Hamlets.
So when you return back to Bangladesh, do you intend to swim again?
I'm thinking about doing the Bangla Channel again next year.
On your own?
Well, what we've been thinking about is trying to get several women doing it, but women of different nationalities. So I have a good friend in India who's swum it before. So she's thinking of coming back and doing it again.
But it's getting to get some Bangladeshi women to come.
Yeah, I mean, there was the first, which is great, the first Bangladeshi woman swam it in March. But yeah, it'd be wonderful if we could get like an English woman, an Indian woman, a Bangladeshi woman.
That would be very good.
Something like that, yeah, would be great.
So you said about the drowning. Some 50 children die every year or every day?
Every day. Every day.
Oh my God, every day. And that has to be prevented or reduced. And you are going to work for it, yeah?
Yes, because I mean, that's how I first got interested in Bangladesh, was literally probably about 18 months ago. I just read one day a newspaper article about drowning and about the problem in Bangladesh. And that just struck me totally. And I admit at the time I didn't know a massive amount about Bangladesh. In my job as an Asia producer, I knew it had some knowledge. And it was reading those figures that, inspired me to start finding out more. And that's what led me to Bangladesh, first of all, last summer to help teach swimming. And, I'm lucky. I love swimming. My friends and I will go swimming here. And it's just so sad that
the children.
That so many children are dying. And it's kind of so unnecessary. They just need to be able to learn to swim.
So apart from Dhaka, Teknaf, Cox's Bazar, St. Martin's, have you been to any other parts in Bangladesh?
Not yet. I definitely want to go back to Sylhet. I'll go up to Sylhet next time. which I know especially because it has such a connection with London as well.
London as well. England. And
Well, yeah,
UK.
England, yes.
Yes.
My problem is that every time I go there, I always run out of time to do everything I want to do.
And, you know, environmental-wise, Bangladesh is suffering, as you know. The world climate is changing. Any thoughts about that?
I don't have a particular knowledge in that area, but obviously know flooding is a big problem. Flooding is now a big problem in India, Bangladesh, all across that part of Asia. And obviously, there again, if people don't know how to swim, it's a very dangerous situation. So it's, in a sense, making it even more critical that people have that ability to swim, because there is more of a potential danger there.
So when you go to Bangladesh, what is your diet?
I eat whatever anyone else eats.
Curry,
Yes.
rice,
Yes.
hot?
Yeah, pretty
That's
hot.
good.
I mean, the thing is, I always find when I'm there, people say, "Oh, be careful. There's lots of spices." But I grew up in multicultural London, and if you grow up as an English child here, you eat every cuisine from a very young age. So you get. I was eating curries when I was little. You're eating Turkish food, Italian food. So it's nothing different.
Bangladesh, do you like it? Do you like Bangladesh?
Oh, totally. I mean, the first time I went there was last summer, and as soon as I arrived, I was just totally captivated. I still have such a vivid memory now of my first day just arriving at the airport, waiting outside for my friend to come and pick me up, and just the chaos and confusion of Dhaka. But I know some people kind of...
It's only 46, 47 years old.
Yeah. But it was
Young nation.
it was so vibrant. There were rickshaws, tuk-tuks, buses, total chaos and confusion. But just this, it just grabbed me. And I don't think you can say for what particular reason why. But immediately I just felt kind of at home and fascinated and just wanted to learn more.
Fantastic. Finally, what message would you give to our community?
Well, I think obviously it is a swimming message, and it's just that just if you get your children to learn to swim now, it's first of all, it's much easier for them to learn as children. And okay, my big issue is making sure they don't drown, but also swimming it all round is such a good thing for you. Physically, it's great for you. Mentally, it's been proven it's very good for you. And it's something you can do until you're 80, 90 years old. And if you get your children to learn to swim, they're getting that exercise, they're learning an essential skill, but it also means when they grow up, they're more likely to teach their own children.
That's right, yes.
And then just naturally, more and more people will be able to swim.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having this conversation. Viewers, we'll be back soon with a new guest. Stay with Channel S.